After owning a four-door C63 and then building one for the giveaway, you know I had to get another one. I wanted a really unique spec, so I got a 507 edition coupe. Oh wow, this is nice. It was owned by a car detailer and it's from California. Woo! And he left his plates. He just let me know the car battery is low, but oh my gosh, guys. This thing is sweet. I mean, I saw some pictures and I am buying this sight unseen. It was out of Temecula, California, but coincidentally, my mom and my sister were out there on vacation. And I'm like, hey, they were in like San Diego, so it was a little bit of a drive. I was like, can you go look at a car for me just to make sure it physically exists and check the VIN and stuff like that? So I had my little Italian mom out there WhatsApp videoing me and she's like, Alex, this car is beautiful, but does it get good gas mileage?
Beast.
It's a beast, it's a beast. And I'm like, Ma, don't worry about the gas mileage. Have you seen the cars I own? Oh, here. Oh wow, I didn't even know he had this thing. Was this running the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even know he had started it. Slow 507. So he had the wheels powder coated black. I really like how the factory 507 wheels look like. I might have to put those back, but look at this thing. Oh yeah. Go real slow, okay? All right, yeah, you're gonna be good. Woo! Good job.
2 keys.
Excellent. Look at that. Look at my new C63, guys. I'd mentioned I'd wanted one of these cars, and I said I wanted one with a unique spec. So this interior is pretty special, and I actually bought this from a subscriber. He emailed me, said he had this car, sent me the VIN, sent me a bunch of pictures. My little Italian mom checked it out. Everything was good. Everything's good. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it. There's my doctor signature.
What's the name of your channel?
It's Legit Street Cars on YouTube. We're gonna gain a subscriber right now. What comes up first for a random person? Paint Perfection. The Grand National Detail. Yeah, that's me right there.
Okay.
Can I? Yeah, look at that. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. I say everything looked good, but we don't know about the mechanicals yet. That's what we got to figure out in this video. As you guys know from all of my other M156 equipped engine videos, that these engines could be very, very problematic. And show you guys in a little bit, but I already have all the modifications for this car. I bought the mods before the car. So this is obviously an aftermarket steering wheel. This is pretty wild. It's got LEDs, I think, for the RPM. I've never owned a steering wheel like that before. And this is a 2014, so it has the updated interior, and this is a facelift car as well, so dual panoramic roof. You kind of expect some bolster wear, especially on a white interior. So we'll have to see if we can clean that up. But the Alcantara in the middle looks really nice, and we do have race start on this car. So the two other C63s on my channel have all had torque converter transmissions. This one's got the MCT, so a much quicker shifting transmission. The facelift also got the push button start now. He said he had to jump it. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump it too. Why did he turn it off? The 507 hood is so cool. Oh. These all had the performance pack, so limited slip differential, big 2-piece rotors in the front, and this one has a forged engine, 507 horsepower. Forged engine is ready for some boost. Well, almost. I gotta take a lot of it apart. We got the Fantic hooked up. And you guys hear the little rattle, and this is hot too. And we might need cam adjusters. Stock C63 mufflers, I guess it's got a resonator delete and it's got a check engine light. So anyway, we got to bring it into the shop, dig into this thing, make sure that it's going to be good enough for boost. Look at this thing. RPM and mile an hour in the steering wheel. Oh, this is crazy. Check engine light, replace key batteries, 82,000 miles. This could have camshaft issues, lifter issues, camshaft adjuster issues. Could have a lot. All right, guys, it's a few days after the car delivery day. I felt sick and I was sick, but I'm doing much better. But unfortunately, I think the C63 is sick. I was a little bit curious as to why the car was running as it pulled up. I mean, the truck pulled up, so he had to have jump-started it somewhere else and then left it running on the truck. I'm not really sure. It sounded good there, but I've moved it around the shop a couple times and it keeps on smoking at startup pretty bad and ticking away. Check this out. Okay. You guys hear that tick? Oh man. There's a little bit of a tick. I don't like those lights either. I think this guy's got a little bit of a misfire. Oh yeah. Yep. The good thing about these C63 mufflers is they're kind of loud and you can hear that putt, putt, putt misfire. Yeah. Wait a minute. Now it's not misfiring. Huh. It's cleared itself up. It's mostly misfiring after it smokes. I've been waiting for a car like this for a long time on the channel, but I think the C63 is the perfect candidate for an Italian tune-up, but a legit street car's Italian tune-up. There's a little bit of science behind this. I want to show you guys exactly how to potentially fix a car for free that's been sitting around for a while. I think we could fix a misfire, a tick, and a smoking for very, very little money, if not nothing at all, with a legit Italian street tune-up, or a legit Italian street tune-up. The check engine light hasn't been flashing, so that's good, but let's shut this down. Okay, so the reason why I'm not super concerned is I only paid $27,000. This is a 2014 507 edition, clean title, clean Carfax, and it was out in California, so it shouldn't be rusty underneath. The second cheapest one I could find, a 507, was like $38,000. So this was a phenomenal deal. We do know, like the last C63 that I bought, that I got like a $10,000 discount on that one because it needed an engine at the end of the day. But no matter what, I know that I can rip this engine apart and fix whatever it needs, and it will get boosted as well, which I'm gonna show you guys shortly. And fingers crossed, we are gonna start taking apart this engine in this video to inspect. I'm hoping it doesn't need the $1,000 a piece camshafts, but we're gonna find out. I'm hopeful, I'm feeling a lot better. And before we discover whatever we're gonna discover, let's make it look even prettier than it looks right now. You guys have seen me wash a car a million times, so I foamed it, then I used the microfiber wash mitt, then I rinsed it, then I re-foamed it a little bit so we could use the clay mitt and pull up any contaminants embedded in the clear coat. And then I used my gigantic drying towel. And the C63 is looking good, and that was all in preparation for this, the Armor Shield 9 from Avalon King. So we're gonna be ceramic coating this car right now. But before I do, I gotta let you guys know about their very limited time Memorial Day weekend sale. This is by far the best sale of the year. So you're gonna get 3 of their complete DIY ceramic coating kits for only $99. Normally, these are $75 a piece. Then they're having a massive sale on their Armor Shield Light ceramic spray and 20% off everything else on their site. And you don't need a coupon code or anything like that. Just click on the link down below. If you guys are unfamiliar with how to ceramic coat, or you're intimidated, don't be. It's easier than waxing a car. So you literally just wipe it on like that, wait 60 seconds, and then after those 60 seconds, you simply wipe it away. So I will be able to coat every exterior surface on my C63 in about an hour, hour and a half, and then it's protected for like 2 or 3 years. If you guys have a small to medium sized car like the C63, one kit will do it all. It comes with literally everything: the gloves, the applicator pad, the sponge for the pad, and the microfiber. But if you have a larger car or truck, you're better off getting 2 kits, but I mean, you're gonna get 3 for $99. So you'll have an extra one. You can save it for a Father's Day gift, maybe do your wife's car, something like that. It's a phenomenal deal. I've been using the Avalon King Armor Shield 9 for about 5 years on almost every single car in my fleet. And you can use it not only on the paint, making it ultra hydrophobic, so all the dirt and water just bead right off. This way you keep your car cleaner for longer, but you can also use it as a standalone trim restorer. This is one of the best trim restoring products on the market. It's that good. I love doing this. I just got done coating the entire 507, including the glass and the glass roof. I even did the carbon fiber spoiler in the back. You gotta be kidding, $27,000. Oh, and Avalon King is giving my viewers the exclusive first shot at this sale, so it's not gonna be released to the public outside of legit street cars for a few more days. So click on the link, take advantage, and check this out. You can see a little bit of the factory finish poking through right here. This is what the wheels look like from the factory, and I think I'm gonna go back to these. Let me know in the comments if you like them like this or with that polished face. Oh, and it looks like these are new rotors and they didn't use the factory 2-piece. They went with the cheaper ones. A lot of guys do that. The factory 2-piece are like $1,000 just for the front, and realistically, they probably work just the same as these, but I'm not gonna lie, because it's a 507, I think that's gonna bother me. I think I'm gonna need the 2-piece rotors. I'm not gonna go too nuts here, but we gotta at least get it to start off in first gear. All right, let's just go S+ too. She needs some work, people. Oh, this trans is good though. Okay. I drove it a block away from the gas station. And let's see, will it shift again? Yeah, okay. Trans seems nice. It's got the rev matching. If this thing has cam issues and lifter issues, I don't wanna beat it up anymore. This guy wants some. He's even got a black or carbon fiber hood. My car's ticking though, and that's a Lexus. You know that thing's not ticking. It's got like 400,000 miles with just oil changes. Wait a minute. Check this out. Does this thing have adaptive cruise? Pre-save, okay. Attention assist. Okay, whatever, that just vibrates the steering wheel. Blind spot assist, that's in the mirrors. Wait, lane keep assist? What? Hold on. Adaptive. Distronic Plus, no way! This thing has Distronic Plus. I didn't even know that was an option on the 204. Okay, hang on, this thing has the lane keep assist, so it should bounce me back. Yeah, it just corrected me. It just corrected me. Now it won't bounce me back again until we hit the curb. It's not the best system, it was 2014, but I didn't even know that was available. That is so cool, I have adaptive cruise control. Like, I don't have to do anything here. It will stop for that Subaru ahead of me, or I'll smash into the back of the Subaru. Okay, yeah, we're good. Oh yeah. We're back in the workshop. I have a fan on the engine because we're, gonna be taking stuff apart. And at the same time, I have this thing scanning for codes. Okay, 7 faults in the engine computer, 1 in the transmission, okay. You guys know the deal with these German cars. There's usually 85 or in the case of the Alpina, like 250 trouble codes. And after you fix everything, you're only left with like a dozen. It's not that bad. I'm not gonna look at all of these right now. Okay, the rest of them are gonna be no fault. Yeah, this really isn't that bad, seriously. Let's see what we got here. Please no cam codes, please, 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 please. Trouble codes. Combustion misfiring, internal data, that's nothing. Okay, we have misfires, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8. Is that it? Okay. No cam correlation code, so that's good. That means that our timing chain is probably okay, although that wasn't an issue with these. And the camshaft adjusters, which are like $1,000 a piece, are probably okay, although I'll probably rebuild those while I'm in there. But this isn't bad, guys. I'm used to a lot worse stuff. The last C63 had this going on and wouldn't run or drive at all. So I think I'm doing pretty good, especially for $27,000. All right, guys, let's get this party started. Let's dig in. It's not really your car until you start working on it, right? I always feel such like a greater connection with one of my cars, like the more work I do to it. And this one, eventually, it's gonna have a lot of work done to it. All right, let's disconnect our mass airflow sensors. There's 2 on this car. All right, helps to lift this little harness out of the way. There we go. There are clips back here that always break. We won't break them. That wasn't the clip. Gotta give it the old Vulcan death grip. Ugh, it's like I gotta mind melt this thing. Ah. Whew. Got it. Not broken. Ah, my glove is ripped already. That's too early in the project, but you just gotta do the Vulcan death grip. Just one of these under there. Whoop. And then it comes off. It's hard to show, but the clip is like under here. It's just hard to get to. This spot is easier. But look at this gigantic intake mouth feeding this 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8, the last naturally aspirated AMG V8. This engine was designed from the ground up by AMG. It is a straight up race engine. I'll show you this later, but we're adding this to it. This thing kind of looks like a shield that like Predator would hold. I'm really into sci-fi movies if you guys haven't noticed. What is this, sand? This is straight up sand. I mean, that's better than salt. Wait a minute, people. We have a California car and I live in Chicago. We gotta take a quick look underneath this thing. Oh, this is gonna be nice. This is going to be no, look at that. You could actually remove that nut right now without heat or penetrating oil. You gotta be kidding me. Look at that. Look at the exhaust. Oh, they do have a resonator. Ah. He got rid of the secondary cats. Okay, I thought he said he had a resonator delete. Secondary cats, okay. Wow, this is clean. Oh man, whoa. Salt belt, people, rust belt, whatever it's called. Wow, no leaks, no, nothing. Dealer maintained. What in the world? Look, the motor mounts aren't even leaking out the ooze. These are fluid filled, so when they leak, it kind of gets all over the subframe, but this is mint. Let's see what the rest looks like under here. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful car, guys. Look at that, it's just a little sandy. Just a little sandy. I'm used to a lot of salty. I will take sand all day. This is awesome. I don't even care what we find in that engine, but let's let's go find stuff nonetheless. And we don't want any of this sand going inside the engine. First things first, we're gonna pull the spark plugs out, see what we're dealing with. All right, let's get this crap out of here. No oil, that's good. Whoa, these are beautiful. Wow, these are really, really nice. They're like practically new. I love this car. We're calling my Italian cousin, Giuseppe. Giuseppe,
Ehi,
come stai?
bene.
Come si dice quando cambi le candele, filtro di benzina, il filtro di aria? Come si chiama? Ogni 5 anni si fa così, come si dice?
Una revisione della macchina, credo.
Hai mai sentito una che dice un recisione italiano?
Una revisione italiana? No.
No. Allora, qui in America diciamo Italian tune-up. Ok? Hai sentito? Italian tune-up si chiama. E significa se hai una macchina che non è usata molto, si prende questa macchina e fai i giri del motore molto alto, veramente si abusa la macchina e si può aggiustare così.
Per far pulire tutti i cilindri, i pistoni, no?
Sì. Allora, io lo voglio fare a una macchina a YouTube perché sono americano, non sono veramente italiano. Ti devo chiedere permesso per usare questa frase.
Ok, Ale, per me tu la puoi usare. Puoi usare questa frase.
Ok, allora lo devi dire in inglese?
Ma yes, you can tell. Come posso dire?
Yeah, bravo. Yes, you can say Italian tune-up.
Yes, you can tell Italian snap.
Grazie. Yes, Giuseppe gave me permission to use Italian tune-up, so from now on, I can use it. Not that any Italians would ever be offended by the term Italian tune-up. If anything, they're proud. They're proud to be known as the people who fix cars for free by beating the crap out of them. We're a proud people. Grazie, Giuseppe.
Ciao, Legit Car.
All right, grazie, ti parlo dopo. Okay, ciao. I know about 40% of my viewers are outside of the US. And they're watching in English, obviously, maybe with subtitles. I don't know, but let me know in the comments, what languages do you speak? Second spark plug removal coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and just take all of these out. I'll lay them out for you. Hey, 2 minutes and 39 seconds to take out all of these coils and plugs. Not bad. I wonder what this job actually pays book time. These plugs look pretty good. It's possible they were replaced not too many miles ago, but sometimes the plugs don't tell you the entire story. The borescope does, because we could still have a lot of carbon buildup on the pistons. That can cause a ticking noise sometimes. But anyway, let's dive deep. Welcome to the alien planet of Das Zylinder. I know I'm not saying that right at all, okay? I don't know German. All right, this alien planet looks pretty normal. Yeah, that carbon buildup so far, it's not too bad. Here's another hole, the same. Yeah, this one's a little thick. Okay. Yeah, this isn't too abnormal, 82,000 miles. And we're on the driver's side right now. Normal. This one's actually nice. It's like it's broken up a little bit. All right, yeah, this one's cleaner too. Okay. Now I do think we may have more of a PCV valve issue, which we're gonna move on to next, but while we're working on that, I'm gonna use some of this intake valve and turbo cleaner. This is basically just a solution that removes carbon. We're just gonna spray it, fog out the cylinder, not too much. And we're just gonna let this sit right on that carbon and eat it up. So this is specifically designed to destroy very, very heavy carbon buildups like on intake valves for direct injected engines, but it has a dual purpose of cleaning the tops of pistons really well. So when you're doing spark plugs, it's not a bad idea, even if it's not that dirty, to spray a little bit in there. Let it sit for, about an hour or something like that, and then I'll show you. We're gonna blow it out with shop air before we fire it up. And that's a nice little addition to your own tune-up. So this is the PCV valve. I've already undone the screw here, so we'll just remove it. There's only one. And what can happen is these can fail, or on some engines, they can just build up a ton of oil and they just need to be clean. So we're gonna take a look here. Get the borescope in there. It's normal to see some oil, but this could be clogged up inside of here, building up. Let's get a little shop air and see what comes out of here. Oh yeah. Okay, I got a little oily on that one. It is actually excellent. So we're seeing a lot of oil built up at the top. So imagine the very bottom of the intake where that tube travels down. this intake probably has a lot of oil just built up over 82,000 miles. The PCV system wasn't the best on these. And so what can happen is it can run fine, the oil builds up into a little puddle, and then all of a sudden gets sucked up into one of the cylinders, causes it to misfire, and then it just cleans itself back up if it's a good running engine. And then the cycle repeats, it builds up a little bit. So we're probably at the tippy top of the amount of oil that should be in the intake. So normally we would take the intake off and clean it and either clean or replace that PCV filter, which I will be doing that in the next video to install all of this and much more. So this is a VRP supercharger kit that uses a Whipple supercharger. And if you guys saw my last trip out to West Virginia with the guys from Modern Masters, we installed one of these on his E63 with the same engine. And it's one of the most efficient supercharger systems I've ever seen. At like 3.5 PSI, it gained like, I don't know, 150 horsepower. Is insane. So obviously I'll get into this a lot more during the install videos, but this is their latest and greatest kit. So it has a reinforced top lid. This does use Hellcat intercoolers. There's 2 of them. We're gonna have new fuel rails. It's just honestly, it's a piece of artwork. I kind of want one of these for decoration, honestly. They're so nice. But here is the heart of the beast, and there are a lot of other little parts that go in here. We have the complete kit. And I actually got the supercharger kit months before I even found this car. I knew for sure I was gonna boost my next M156. So VRP whipped one of these up for me, sent it out, and then I found the car. So that's something new. I've never pre-bought performance parts for a car that I don't own. Now, because we're removing this intake, and this thing is a total nightmare to remove with the intake on, we're just gonna give it a clean. You guys can do this too and clean your PCV valve. A little bit of brake clean. You don't need to let it sit in there for any real amount of time. Just blow it out with air, just cover it up. All right, we're just capturing everything inside. I did that a few more times and we'll see what we got. Yeah, we're good. All right, and let's just take a look inside of the intake manifold. Yeah, you can see the oil is in there. So if you're not putting a blower on your car, and if you have the time and knowledge to take your intake off, might not be a bad idea just to clean it out. We have the PCV system temporarily cleaned up, and what I just did there wouldn't last forever. You really do need to get that intake manifold off, but this could keep away our puff of smoke potentially for like a month or 2, which is great because I want to drive this car for a little while before we do the blower. I have so many other projects I want to finish. And speaking of the blower, because we need to get really prepared for that install, let's rip a valve cover off and take a look at our cam, see if we need to order any parts there. Crossing my fingers we don't. The valve cover job isn't that bad on the M156. You're just gonna pull this harness out of the way. A hook like this helps. My cough is literally messing up my scenes here, all right? I pulled that up and I just get a tickle in the throat. It's going away though, getting better. These purdy black valve covers are held on by, well, I don't know, let's just say 14 T30 screws. I don't really know how many, but just make sure you get them all. And when you take these screws out, you'll see this little guy. It should stay with the screw. Now, these are short little guys, so I would just pull them right out before you drop them. Don't want to lose these in the Bermuda Triangle of AMG death in here. All right, with all the screws out, just give this a gentle little nudge. There we go. Now, if it doesn't come that easily, you haven't removed all the screws. Don't force it. You can totally crack this cover. And it's a little difficult to shimmy out of here with the harness, but you can get it. Come on out, brother. What do we got? What do we got? How are these $1,000 piece camshafts? Okay. Looking good, not bad. All right, here we go. We got a couple cam lobes right up top. This is really smooth, no pitting, a little bit on the side there, no big deal. These are really nice. They start to get a little flat right at the point here. See right here? That's when you can really tell they're worn out, but man, these look great. Now they're Performance Pack C63, so all of the 507s came with a forged engine. So you get forged rods, forged pistons, a lightweight crankshaft. This is all borrowed from the SLS's version of this engine. The only thing is that I wasn't able to verify online is if they give you the Black Series lifters. It doesn't look to be the case, but I wonder if the coating just wore off. If you guys saw my C63 engine build video, this is what the Black Series lifter looks like compared to the factory one. But yeah, I think they just used the regular lifters on this engine. But we'll know for sure when I rip this thing completely apart because we're gonna be doing head studs in preparation for the boost, and I'm definitely gonna replace the lifters with the Black Series. But let me know in the comment section if you guys know if the Performance Pack C63 engine got the Black Series lifters from the factory. It did definitely get the updated head bolts. As you can see right there by the head of the head bolt, it's a little difficult to see, but here is the difference between the head bolts. The earlier ones were very weak and the head would snap right off, so they updated updated them. And that was done on all of the M156 engines. At a certain point in 2011, there's a VIN cutoff or a date cutoff. I'll leave that information in the description box if you guys have an engine like this and you want to know if you have the updated head bolts. Or you could just pop the valve cover off. It might have been done at some point. But by removing this valve cover, I now have an excellent game plan of what we're going to be doing when we remove these heads. I'll be rebuilding these adjusters with billet plates. We'll do the Black Series lifters. So those two things you've already seen me do, but we're also going to add the head studs and we might do some head work as well. But we don't need $4,000 worth of cams, so that's good. Alrighty then. We're going back together with our cool black valve cover. You can reuse these seals in this gasket, although I never do. I usually replace them. But again, we're gonna have this all apart soon enough to do a bunch of work that'll add a ton of power. I'm gonna go hard with this one, guys. I think we're gonna run it on E85 and really see what this forged engine can do. A non-forged M156 can handle a ton of power. Some guys are running like 600-700 horsepower on the non-forged engines. So with that blower, the sky is kind of the limit. Like that should support, 1,000 horsepower or something like that. I mean, if it could support it, we should maybe test its limits. I don't know. All right, get out of my way. Wiring harness. This is a sweet wiring harness, by the way. Did you guys know that in the 80s, Mercedes had a biodegradable engine wiring harness? I had worked on some of these older cars at the dealership that had these, and that was a bad idea, Mercedes. These harnesses would just, they were biodegradable. They would literally disintegrate, but it's almost like they didn't expect the cars to last that long. They lasted a long time and their harnesses fell apart. With all the bolts in, we can draw them in with our gun, but don't go crazy. You gotta vary that throttle. Okay, slow down with the throttle. There we go. As soon as it stops, you're using a gun, just stop it. The torque spec is only 9 Newton meters. So it's like a little baby click. It's so little, I'm about ready to install these spark plugs, and I was able to find out from the previous owner that he replaced these about 10,000 miles ago. The previous owner also had a few other cars. He had like a little mini collection, he said. And so this one never got driven. So he had mentioned that the gas might be really old. I'm gonna be installing colder ones, so we're just gonna reuse these for now. But before they go in, let's give the cylinder a little air. Yeah, most of that stuff is evaporated at this point. I usually don't put a lot in there. There we go. Just the little mist that I squirted in there has gone underneath the carbon. It's starting to lift it up, and what's really gonna lift it up is me pushing down on the accelerator pedal on the highway. I mean, at a professional enclosed race course or Mexico. Why is it Mexico? Why does everybody always say that? Is there no speed limit in Mexico? Is that the deal? Where did that originate from? We're going back in with Le Candele. That's how you say spark plug in Italian. I don't really know too much car talk in Italian, but I know that one. And if you don't want to say that, you could just say, the spark plug. I can do that joke. I'm Italian. My cousin said so. It's approved. Giuseppe approved. Spark plugs and coils are reinstalled. I've tightened up the bolt holding the PCV valve back there. Now we just gotta snake these gigantic air boxes in and try not to smash everything. There we go. Now I'm having fun already, but we're gonna start to get to the really fun part of cleaning out this engine with a good old list. And shout out to Max, my editor. He came up with list. I was sitting there pacing back and forth. I'm like, legit street cars, Italian tune-up. I'm like, LCI, and I'm like, I'm so tired. And he's like, list, dude. It's just list. Legit Italian street tune-up. Thanks, dude. Let's see if we can get that satisfying click. Oh, there it is. There's something really satisfying about clicks on car parts. So nice. Speaking of acronyms, what is the acronym when you listen to something like that, like really loud or up close or something? What is it, ASM or something? Another one. Yeah, I thought that'd be a little bit more satisfying. Steez. Our last mechanical step to my list before we get to traditional Italian tune-up of just kind of beating the car down is going to be an engine flush, and this is going to help free up sticky lifters. I think the lifters on this car are in decent condition, but if a car has been sitting around for a while, sticky lifters is an actual thing. They're lifters that can be noisy because passages are slightly clogged, things like that. So this thing has been kept up as far as oil changes go, but again, it's been sitting for a long time, and we're gonna run this flush for about 15 minutes. It's gonna get in the engine everywhere and kind of just clean any little dirt deposits or whatever that's in there. And you guys know I love my AMSOIL stuff, but let's be real, people. It's 2023. They figured out engine flush. I've never had an issue with any engine flush, so get whatever's on sale, Amazon, your local auto parts store, whatever you want. The one thing I do look out for though is I don't like the engine flushes where they have you keep the stuff in there for a few hundred miles. This is only 10 to 15 minutes. It does its thing and you're getting it out of there. All right, let's fire this guy up. Oh yeah. That is what we want to see after spraying all that stuff in the cylinders. Look at all this wonderful smoke. I don't know why I'm doing that. Smoke's bad for you. Don't do that. It's bad. But she sounds good. No misfiring. Okay, it's idling down. Excellent. What's really cool about the engine flush that you only put in for a few minutes is that it's basically a liquid and it rushes through the system very quickly. I mean, it's just been a couple of minutes so far. There's no tick, and this tick would stick around for a long time. Normally, it would only go away after the engine got up to full operating temperature. I mean, this engine is like totally cold. I mean, it's literally room temperature. It's 75 degrees. Look at that, 76 on the valve cover. So it's been running for 2 minutes. Tick is gone. I let this warm up for about 15 minutes, and I cleared out the check engine light while I was at it. So now we can drain this oil. Okay, oil filter doesn't look too bad. Made in Germany. AMG. So the AMG has 2 drain plugs. One is at the oil cooler. I just tried to get my socket on there and I made that chip of paint. I don't think this has ever been out though. Like, this was all me. Wish I turned the camera on to show you guys, but this thing is mint. So for the life of this car, they haven't been draining this cooler. That is for sure. Look at my socket, barely even gets over. This is how it is when you do this for the first time. You can barely get your socket on there and you end up chipping off all of the paint. Yeah, see, it's literally flaking off right now. It doesn't necessarily mean they didn't get all of the oil out. They could have sucked it out, and the little fluid extractor that they use at the dealer is pretty good, but still want to drain the cooler every once in a while. All right, so we're gonna be doing the first proper oil cooler drain. There we go. It kind of dribbles out. There's the original paint. Original AMG paint flaking off. They definitely didn't suck it out every time. Here's the main drain plug, which is clearly used. They just weren't doing it right. Okay, here is our main drain plug. I just broke it loose. Now the engine oil is pretty hot right now. It's gonna look even thinner because of our engine flush. It's not that dirty either, it's pretty good. And I would just like to say I barely made it. It hit like the rim here, nothing on the ground. New oil filter is in. Everything is buttoned up. The panel's under there as well. So now we're just gonna feed it some Euro spec AMSOIL 540 synthetic. Oil change is complete, and the M156 gives you a dipstick. When this engine came out, Mercedes basically didn't have any dipsticks on any of their cars. So thank you M156. I'm gonna reward you with the fun part of the Italian tune-up. Look at this 507 hood. I've made a little whiteboard diagnostic tree, if you will, everything that will be fixed by the legit Italian street tune-up, and I will leave a more detailed list in the description box because my handwriting is horrible. But just to kind of wrap this up right now, what we think is at play here is this: random intermittent misfires, dirty plugs, could be oil from the PCV system. We have a puff of smoke that smells of oil from the PCV system. The PCV system not working properly creates carbon, and the Italian tune-up's entire job in life is to clean out carbon, so we want to prevent that. Top end or lifter tick, this could be old or dirty oil clogging passages that can be fixed, and this all kind of stems from a car that's been sitting around or has many city miles, or a car that's just been driven lightly. Yeah, need to go pick up some key batteries, and check this out. You can change this, and it basically reads everything a normal OBD2 scanner would kind of read. Not sure what this one does. The LEDs lighting up though, totally a gimmick. They go up with RPM. It's like, what is the point? But I guess this could be kind of useful. I don't know. And you have most of that instrumentation right here. She's running smooth. Right off idle is good. Yeah, no shaking. It's definitely not misfiring. It's definitely not ticking. Throttle response is ridiculous on these cars. No tick at all. It definitely would have been ticking now. And it's basically a low emissions Honda back here now. I mean, it's running right now. You can't see anything. I just like to point out that they got rid of big naturally aspirated V8s over at AMG. Don't get me wrong, I like the new stuff, it works well, except for the fact that they're going like 4-cylinder and hybrid. I don't like that, but this thing is cool. Oh, and look at this. This is how that steering wheel works. It's a pigtail with an adapter. I think LED, I think that's what it's for, but it's all just kind of dangling here. It's got to get fixed. When I fill this thing up with fuel, I use the AMSOIL Performance Improver, but I'm gonna use some of this as well. Upper cylinder lubricant. So this is gonna fight against corrosion from ethanol fuels because we have E10 everywhere. So it'll just help out the injectors a little bit more. But if you guys don't have any of this, I like the brand Techron, Chevron. You can get those at any auto parts store. STP sells some good ones as well, but yeah, or you can order this online. I'll leave you guys a few links to some of these additives that I use down below. All right, we're definitely gonna try RS for race start, but we'll go to Sport Plus and we'll go to the AMG screen here. It tells you the coolant temp and oil temp. This transmission is so good. Oh, Italian tune-up. Oh. All right, let's just pedal it up here. So we're in second gear right now. So there are some manufacturers right in their instructions. They say keep it in, you know, second or third gear at like 4,000 RPM and just hold it there. Just like that for sometimes like 10 minutes, and that'll blow out all the carbon. We're not gonna hold it there though. We're gonna do stuff. Oh, we broke traction. Oh man. All right, hold on, I gotta roll up my window. Oh, it's so good. I loved the 204 chassis C63 when it came out in 08, and they ran it all the way to 2015. This is a 14, but they worked out all the bugs, and man, oh. All right, hang on. I'm gonna give it another whack. Italian tune-up, blow out that carbon. Ooh. Oh, yes. All right, check this out. We slow down, rev match. Instant. The 7-speed torque converter transmission that was in the older version of this car was actually really good at shifting, but this brought it to a whole new level. So they put the MCT trans that came in the E63, the SL63 in this car in the facelift year, which is 2012. So they redid the interior, got LEDs in the front, a bunch of other little things. But the biggest improvement was the transmission, and they're really strong too. You could put a lot of power to them. I mean, we're gonna find out how strong she is. I hope you're strong, little buddy. These pedals, they seem strong. Oh, it's so good. It just stays in the gear. It's waiting for you. There you go. Oh, that's like 7,300 RPM from the factory. Oh, and we're keeping it. We're at 4,000. Italian tune-up, people. And this thing will take it. This car could be on the track all day long. It's naturally aspirated, I mean, for now, so there wasn't any overheating issues or whatever. Oh, I just had the little lane thing help me out there. Thanks. Oh, this car's handles so well too, and this suspension is tight. The tires are good. Oh, yes. Oh, I hope you guys can hear how good this is. All right, so to recap, you have your normal Italian tune-up, which is literally, you just take the car out and just beat the crap out of it. But then, if it's a car you really like, you just take it one step further, do the list, and then go beat on the car and have fun with it. And for very little money, you can fix multiple issues. So I'm gonna go back now to the shop. I'm gonna let this thing sit for like 2 or 3 hours. We'll see if it smokes again. Before it would do that, roughly, even sometimes after an hour or so. And the way you can tell if this is a valve seal issue or if it's a PCV issue is how often it happens. So if you let the car sit overnight and then you start it in the morning and that's the only time it smokes, it's usually the valve seals are just leaking. Some oil is getting in there overnight. It won't happen after an hour or two. But if you have an oily intake, bad PCV system, it will happen more often. And then we'll recheck the tick too. So anyway, let's go back to the shop. Well, before we get back, we still got to do some tuning. All right, I've let this engine cool down for a couple of hours. Let's start her back up, see if she's ticking. Nope. We're good. You can hear it a lot over here before. No ticking whatsoever. All right, good. Any plumes of smoke? Nothing. Look at that, look at the air. Yeah, I mean, we're not getting anything at all. So the PCV system is fixed, the ticking is gone, and there is no check engine light either. And I probably put like, I don't know, 20 or 30 miles on it or something or whatever, maybe more, that much gas. Well, you guys know what I'm driving home today. Definitely the C63. All right, we gotta try out race start. First step, click this button, it'll say sport handling. And then we bring it over to race start, confirm with the paddle. Then you just hold the brake and you floor the accelerator pedal, let off the brake, you're launching. But listen to this from the back. Oh, it hooks up. Woo! Are you kidding? It hooks up. Oh, it's doing its little thing. Oh, it does the rev match on the way down. Oh, I was not expecting it to be that good. I was like, oh, we're gonna roast these tires, but it's sunny. It's like, I don't know, 75, 80 degrees out, and it really kind of throttles it perfectly. I was matted the whole way, and it just kind of, it plants and goes. Race Start is usable right now. I mean, we're gonna make it very unusable with the blower, but right now it's usable and fun. This is awesome. I'd read on the forums that some guys were running like 11-second quarter miles with these things stock. I don't know if that's true, but that's really good. I can't get over how fast this thing shifts, and it's got a really cool sound when it does. Hang on, I gotta get this on camera for you guys. It's just too easy. Woo! You gotta hear the rev match too from outside. Hang on. I know with Race Start, it's throttling, the computer's doing something, but let's just see if we just do Alex Start, a little brake torque, and just try and launch it ourselves. Traction control is not completely off, but I gotta say, it varies it nice. With that limited slip, it actually hooks up really well. I just held the traction control button down for like 5 seconds, and now I think it's off all the way. I think it was definitely still kicking in on that last one. So we'll do Alex Race Start. Oh, it's, man. Okay. It let me rip it for a second, but then it kicked in again. That's okay, that's okay. We got nice new Michelins on here. We won't roast them just yet in this video. We'll maybe save that for a blower video. Coming up to a bridge. Sing to me. Sing to me. Name a better sounding naturally aspirated V8. Name one. I mean, there's a few really good sounding ones, but this is definitely up there, top 10 for sure. All right, guys, I'm definitely falling in love with this C63 Coupe 507 edition. So far, I mean, no check engine lights come back. The car is tight. It feels brand new. It's got 82,000 miles, but you'd think it had like 20,000 miles. It is so nice. I know I've said this on the channel before, but if you live in the Rust Belt like me and have the opportunity to buy cars from Arizona, California, down south where they don't use salt, I highly recommend it. Sometimes they don't even cost any more than the Midwest version of the same car. I bought this from a subscriber that reached out because I had mentioned I was looking for a C63 Coupe. So thank you to Brian for keeping such good care of this car. He was into car detailing, that's why it looks so nice to begin with. And he maintained it as well too. It just needed to be driven, it needed a little Italian tune-up. So now you guys know how you could potentially fix a car that's been sitting around for very little money, and essentially by doing some maintenance and having some fun. Now, I won't get to supercharging my C63 for a little while because I'm finishing up a bunch of projects. I've actually already finished quite a few. So the giveaway C63, that is done and gone. My CTS-V daily driver is done, and we just finished a massive restoration on the Buick Grand National. The thing looks so good. It's a very satisfying video. I'll drop that link down below if you haven't seen it already. I'm working on the CL65, the E55 AMG wagon is next as far as a video on the channel. But my most pressing project at the moment is the supercharged 15-passenger van, because June 24th, I'm having the Fill the Van with Cans subscriber meetup event. So you guys can come out, bring your cars. We're gonna have food. If you wanna donate some food to fill up in the van, you can do that as well. And we're gonna give it all to a food pantry. And it's at Cannonball Garage. It's one of the coolest shops in the country. And I cannot wait to hang out with you guys. I do like one subscriber meetup a year, and it's always a blast. I'm warning you, I could sit there and talk about cars and eat food and drink cold pops for a very long time, so be prepared. Anyway, guys, with that, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Share the video with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers. So if you appreciate the content, if you enjoy it, then hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, though, have a fantastic day. I will see all of you in the next video. This could have camshaft. This could have camshaft. This could have camshaft lifter. And before you can see a little of the. You can see a little. You can see a little of that. I don't know the oil change. This was dealer maintained though, but I don't know when the last. AMG really wanted to know the amount of. What I'm saying. 2 seconds. All right. Okay, gotta go the right way. Take the bolt off. There we go. Click. God, I can't even do my clicks. Click, not click. Where's my spark plug sockety thing? You're not a spark plug sockety. Ooh, you are. I got boogers, Max. I think I do. If there's boogers, tell me.